speaker is a strong advocate for many causes, including human rights, HIV prevention, and discrimination against transgender women, as a female transgender model, actress, performer, and activist who received her start with RuPaul's Drag Race. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Ms. Carmen Carrera.
Hi everyone. Hello. How are you? Good. It feels good to be here. I have a lot of ties to Houston. A lot of my best friends live here. And I felt like going through my transition and being on television, Houston was kind of like a little refuge for me. One of my best friends in the whole world, Aaron, he lived up in Cypress Hills, I think, with his grandma, and I just have so many amazing experiences. So it just feels good to be here. I feel like kind of at home. I wanted to thank you big time to the TFA board, Alexis, Jennifer, Robin, Christian, Monty, and Kuma. Also, Joelle and Lawrence, thank you guys so much for coordinating, getting me here from Los Angeles. I want to begin by affirming that I am a trans woman. Okay? Yes. But I'm also a daughter. I am a sister. I am a healer. I am a student of life. I'm a performer. I'm an actress. I'm a leader. I am an inspiration. I'm also a teacher. I'm also a friend. A lover. I'm a warrior. I'm a trailblazer. Yes. I am a dancer. I am a kind soul. But I'm a human being. And sometimes it's hard to channel being human when others are treating you so inhumane. And unfortunately, so many members of my community have had their humanity stolen and their lives taken away just for being who they are. And this is something that I carry with me all of that awareness, because I feel blessed to be able to still experience my life outside of my gender, but I'm also aware that because of my gender, people lose their lives. And sometimes it's mind-blowing for me, because I sort of think back like, oh my gosh, like I sit back and think, this girl who just, was murdered, or, it could have been me. I'm no different. No different than any other trans girl who, grew up putting wigs on and putting on mom's Avon lipstick in the bathroom and wrapping a t-shirt around our head and, fantasizing about waking up the next day as a girl, praying to God, not understanding why you're like this, or why you're not like everyone else, or why doesn't someone get you, or who can show you the way when no one talks about these kind of things. But I mean, what really makes us different? Like, don't we all recognize that we're all human? We all have our own experience. We all have our own desires. We all make our own choices on how we want to live our lives and the quality of life that we deserve. I mean, when all else fails, we hit rock bottom, and our human drive is what really keeps pushing us to keep going. I mean, we can fail, we can fall, and it's that human inside that's like, no, get up. What are you doing? Keep going. There's possibility. So many examples of us out there in the world trying to prove not only to those people who say that we are not allowed, but also to prove to those individuals who believe it sometimes. Our own community members that feel like living in the shadows or not being so colorful might be best, draw back from society, in fear of what? Being who you really are? I mean, it's crazy to me. I never really thought as a kid growing up, like, oh my gosh, you know, my life is in danger. You know what I mean? And it's a real thing. It's a real thing. I think that the trans community, we've sharpened our blades of resiliency time and time again. You know, we have to experience so much societal injustice, but still rising up every day to continue the journey of self-authenticity and self-realization. One day we might get called out for being trans, then we might get denied love or abused. But we have still to wake up the next day and say, oh, it's okay. It's okay, I'm still gonna keep going. I mean, we're not really the only ones though, right? I think it's all of us as human beings. We all are searching to be self-realized. It's the reason why we go to school. It's the reason why we go to church. It's the reason why we want to wake up and be the best that we can be. I mean, we share similar experiences and similar challenges with most other people. Whether you're trans or cis, I mean, oppression comes in so many forms. And I think, like, if we could only teach more people that we aren't so different, and that we are equal through the human experience, I mean, we can really start the healing process, I think, for the LGBT community and beyond. I mean, these are human ties: race, sex, gender, community, culture, rage, anger, love. They're all things experienced by each and every one of us human beings. And from this place, from this very simple, fundamental starting point, we can really see and start to peel back all of the colors of societal injustice. We can be there for one another. And I mean, social media ties us all together, but I mean, is that really sending the positive message of unity, or what? And for me, I kind of like created a list, right? I mean, I've been out and proud my entire transition. I mean, I was on a drag queen TV show, and then I transitioned. Then I got offered a modeling contract, and I was like on the road every day, having to go through and experience transphobia. And this is like before Laverne Cox. This is like almost like Jerry Springer-esque times. You know Jerry Springer, right? The guy that like totally conditioned America for 20 years to perform acts of violence on trans people as a form of entertainment. And this is part of the work that we are all doing to dismantle this ideology that we are, as trans people, we're deceptive, or we're trying to trick you or make a joke of you, or this is the work that has fallen on my generation's shoulders and everyone who is just sick of it. And for me, I mean, I was on the road, I really didn't have a chance to experience like really getting educated, but it's so important to get educated on what is happening throughout all aspects of your intersecting identity. It's like, not only am I a trans person, but I'm also a Latina, right? And I have my cultural influence. And not only am I Latina, but I've also been a drag queen. I have my connections and my ties to drag culture. I mean, before my transition, I lived as a gay man, and I have my ties to gay culture. So I'm kind of like, always trying to like, understand what's happening with every part of myself, because sometimes I have to step out of the trans identity and realize that I'm only human and I don't have all the answers, you know? And it kind of reminds me of the story of RuPaul, actually, who's amazing and award-winning. You know, I brought up a few points, I guess, on my social. Just sort of raising awareness that we should be better as a community, and the jokes that we tell, and the words that we use with one another. And RuPaul, who's like a superhero, answered in an interview that trans people who think this way need to get stronger. We've got to get stronger, right? So I feel like for me, when I heard this, I was like, wow, it kind of hurt, but it did make me stronger, and it did work. And maybe she was right. And maybe we do need to get stronger. Maybe we do. It's a scary world, and we're big girls and big boys, and maybe I gotta get stronger. But at the same time, it's like I have to also tell myself, because I've been taught by my community, by the drag culture, by gay culture, that maybe my place in the world might be in the shadows. But it's like I disagree. It's like, how can I break this? Dude, it's like, is my place in the world, like, does it have to be at the bottom? Like, why? Why do people think that? Why? What is it? I sat with this question, like, why, for so long, and then I just decided to get active. Like, I gotta get out there. I gotta learn why. Gotta learn why, because there's more to my life and everyone that I represent than to just live in the shadows, or to be at the bottom of the, or get the bottom of the barrel experiences, or think that you're not deserving of a loving, enriched human experience. And I've learned that I have to love myself unconditionally, and I'll probably be teaching people for a really long time how to love me. And I think that that's us as a whole. It's like, we've all got to be strong enough to educate and to kind of work against the grain, I guess, to say, okay, I understand that you may have learned or been programmed to hate LGBT people, but I'm going to sit here and listen to what you have to say, not allow it to affect me, but also then teach you how to love people like me. And it starts with the language, it starts with us identifying our pronouns. All of this work is so important. And I also think that us as a community, we have to take time to heal. We have to sit back and understand that some of these things that happen to us, they're not permanent. The oppression is not permanent. As long as we activate our will to keep going, to keep educating, to get stronger, thank you, RuPaul, the sooner we can dismantle this whole ugly situation. And I'm so excited heading into 2020 that there's so many more young people that are actively getting educated and learning how to vote, who to vote for, why does this matter? It's fascinating to me, and I finally feel that, like, us as an LGBT community, we are finally having our moment to step up and say, hey, we exist, and we have a say, and we have power, and we won't back down until our voices are heard. And that for me is like the most inspiring thing. Yeah, I take from my community all the time, like just sitting back and watching all you beautiful, amazing people, it's fascinating. So, in closing, in short, I think that all of your support, everyone that's in this room, I just want everyone to know that it creates a ripple effect. And so many people are watching, so many people are listening, and now is the time to really, really like rev up your engines and go for it. Just go for it. Don't stop educating, don't get discouraged, don't listen to anyone's BS. Because our time has finally come. Everything that we've gone through, the suffering, the pain, all of these things are changing. We have so many allies, so many people willing to listen to what we have to say and understand where we're coming from. This is our power. So the one thing I want to leave with you is never forget that you are powerful, you are deserving, you are loved, and you are fucking awesome, okay? I love you guys with all my heart. If anyone wants a photo, let's do it. If you also want to talk, I'm available. I'm currently working on actually creating a summit, a youth summit, or just an LGBT summit, where everyone can come together and share ideas, grow, heal, be progressive. I'm also working on some independent projects right now. I just shot a movie, which is exciting. Yeah, so I have a whole bunch of projects lined up, and I really want to get myself as active as I can within not only the religious communities, but just anyone that wants to spread this light, spread this love, and this unity. So feel free to tap me on the shoulder, don't be afraid. This is what I'm here for. So once again, thank you again, and I hope you enjoy your evening.
Stunningly beautiful Carmen Carrera.